USA Skiing. It's Buddy Warner, Andrea Mead Lawrence, Gretchen Frazier, Billy Kidd, Moose Barrows. So what is our American ski culture? And what is our American ski system? Is there one way to get it done? Barbara Cochran, Cindy Nelson. How do we account for somebody who comes out of the system? Michaela Schifrin, and people say she's not of the system. I'll say that she is part of the system. How does our system account for somebody like Michaela? And how does our system account for that youngster who's coming up, who is our future Bodie Miller or Lindsey Vonn, and we don't want to lose them. We don't want them to fall through the cracks, and we want to cultivate them to the fullest potential. How do we do that? Tamara McKinney, the Mayer brothers, Peekaboo, Tommy Moe. Education is paramount. It's so important because it's not our national sport. I mean, our country is so big, all these different regions, all these different people. It's not like Austria, where our upbringing and culture and sport are all aligned. The national sport is skiing. We live in the Alps. The experiences from family to family are pretty similar. You can hate ski racing and not get away from it. You can hate ski racing and you're probably talking about ski racing at dinner. It's not that way in our country. Our country is so vast. And the experiences of all of our athletes are so very different. I mean, heck, Tamara McKinney grew up on horses. Phil and Steve Mayer out of Yakima grew up playing football and on their dirt bikes. I grew up in the city playing basketball. Come here. So in our system, education is huge. Because we can't take anything for granted. We can't take it for granted that anybody knows anything. Because in our country, it's not a national sport, and the majority of folks don't know about ski racing. Education of our coaching staff, propping up our clubs, because the answer is with the clubs, right? Making our clubs strong. What about culture? Ted, Hillary Lind, Diane Roth, Eva Twardokins, our internal culture, our family culture, club culture, the U.S. ski team culture. It takes all of that, right? Internal culture, internal drive, vision, complete ownership, figuring things out, being innovative. In my simplistic way, I think of this as becoming the ultimate expert in you, in who you are. Meaning you're the most real. You're evaluating your weaknesses. You're evaluating your strengths. You're looking at the situation that you live in and where you live and the people who are around you for support. All of your advantages, all of your disadvantages, and you maximize your situation to the fullest. And whoever does that the best is going to win. Did I say Bodie Miller, Michaela Schifrin, Lindsay? Oh my gosh, Darren Rolfs. I mean, you guys, come on. Going through a tunnel. USA Skiing. Our history and legacy is as rich as any country on the planet. And then there's family culture. What is your relationship with results? Is a result the end right there, or is a result just information? Whether it's a win or whether it's a lose, it's the same thing. It's just information to learn from and to propel you into tomorrow, to propel you into the future. Family culture, lifelong learning, don't get the cart before the horse, have no expectation of greatness, take care of today, let your actions do the talking, be willing to fall and get back up and give it a try, and be brave and plug away. Just love the heck out of it. So don't get me wrong. You don't do this alone. You don't go it alone. You need your club. You need your coaches. You need your buddies and teammates and friends. But it's never entirely going to be the system. It's the person. It's what's inside. Club culture, the discipline approach, the leadership, taking into account long-term athlete development, taking into account educating of all the families and educating of the kids. You've got a lot of strong leadership on multiple levels. You've got a nice balance of male and female staff for a nice balanced viewpoint and leadership styles. With the younger kids, you're cultivating skill development and passion for the sport. As the kids are growing older, you're getting all those building blocks in place of developing the mature athlete. The club's role in keeping costs down and the culture of the sport there. I mean, that's where it begins. And how we educate families about equipment, how we educate families about what camps they really should go to or should not go to, and doing our best as clubs to keep the costs down as much as possible for our families. The future of our sport depends on it. Guiding principles, what are they? Are they clear? How do you have somebody like Michaela Schifrin, who today is bringing home the globes and looking to win in all 6 disciplines when you account for parallel slalom, that new discipline these days? How do you account for that? And then the development of young up-and-comers and accounting for everything, which is the American system. So what is the system anyway? I know for me, growing up in Seattle, I was 500 miles away from the nearest coach. I was such an independent thinker. I don't know if I would have paid much attention to any of my coaches over the summer anyway. I mean, I had the info. I knew if I was doing enough sit-ups or not. We do need a system, though, that shows the way, that have skiers that have done it before. And then how does everybody fit within that? So how does our national culture account for somebody like Michaela Schifrin, the best on the planet, and then account for those kids that are trying to make it? In a country of ours that is so vast, that has such a wide degree of understanding of what our sport is, that's a lot to account for. I think Tiger Shaw knows it. So gang, those are just some of my thoughts to a really big topic. I think if we start with culture at every level, we'll be getting somewhere. How about something else within our American system, something that we know is coming, something that's going to be happening in Europe, something that needs to be happening more now, and that's female coaches. I mean, look at Eileen Schifrin with Michaela. Michaela's the absolute best in the planet, and look who's been right by her side. Her coach, her mom, a female. This woman gets it, and she's fierce. And we can't deny that there is something to that. We will be a stronger association. We will have more quality and productive athletes with more female representation and female coaches out there for the female brain, the female voice. It's underutilized, supremely important, and it is the future. That's the low-hanging fruit. That's an easy adjustment to be made to make our organization stronger. Go Lindsay, reach that record. You know, science and technology has evolved since the 80s, but human nature, the human brain, hasn't. We deal with pressures. We deal with resiliency and drive and passion in the same way. That's no different. There is a lot to be learned from the past if we pay attention.